The Adventures of Stephen Hu, Episode 2. When we last saw young Stephen, he was walking around a big city in the year 2125. To recap on this quickly. Stephen was a young man who was an obsessive Doctor Who fan who wished he could go on the same adventures as his favourite fictional hero, the Doctor, only to get his wish when an old defunct police telephone box suddenly sprung to life as a TARDIS and whisked him off on a time-travelling adventure. He arrived in a futuristic city in the year 2125, and he was shocked to see the city was empty, and his TARDIS had assumed the form of a futuristic building. We now continue our story as Stephen was still walking the suspiciously dead unnamed city in the year 2125. He was looking for information on both which city he was in and why it was empty, despite it being broad daylight. A poster in a shop window told him he was in London, and it was the crack of dawn rather than a time of day for people to be bustling about. He was starting to feel more comfortable with that as he carried on exploring. As he stopped to look in the window of a time machine dealership showroom and looked in shock at the price of the time machine in the window. It cost upwards of 890,000 universal credits, or £2.5 million in old money.
Hello sir, my name's Lisa Opal. I'm the staff on duty today. Welcome to Space Time Out Time Machines. How may I help you?
She said politely. Stephen smiled at her.
Hello there, Lisa. It's nice to see you. I'm Stephen,
he replied. Lisa was confused at his words.
I'm sorry, but I didn't catch your surname. Stephen who?
Just Stephen,
replied Stephen simply, which only confused her more.
Let me try this one. Where are you from?
I'm from London.
I've never seen you around here before.
That's because the London I'm from existed a century ago. I'm from the 21st century.
Stephen tells her. Lisa was amazed to learn this.
You're from the year 2025?
She repeated in her amazement.
That's right,
replied Stephen.
How did you get here?
I came here in a time machine that just appeared inside a defunct police telephone box after, well, wishing for the same adventures as a character called the Doctor, in a show called Doctor Who.
Stephen told her. She looked at him like he was trying to fool her.
It changed from to a building when I landed,
he told her.
Tell you what, Stephen, why don't you come back after my shift and you can prove it to me?
She replied before leaving him to look at the time machines for a bit. As Stephen left the shop, he went to get his £1,000 pocket money he'd brought with him from the year 2025 converted to universal credits, and received 750 credits back, as £1,000 in old money, as they called it, was only worth between 125 and 800 credits. He decided to spend a large chunk of his money on some futuristic clothes to help him blend in better with his surroundings and fit in with his 22nd century comrades, and the last 250 credits on a meal in a high-end restaurant. At 5:30, he met Lisa at the time machine dealership as she was closing up for the day. It was time to prove his claims to her. She went with him to the building which he claimed was really his time machine. As they entered the foyer, her mouth fell open in amazement. She was standing in the console room of a massive spaceship as Stephen approached the console.
Fancy a journey, Lisa?
Yes, please.
All right, it's your choice. Is it backwards or forwards in time? How far S2 backwards?
100 years,
replied Lisa. Stephen set the time machine in backwards mode.
Stephen input the day he left into the yearometer and pulled the lever, and off they went.